Welcome back on site for the Bridgnorth Yard track upgrade project. Now today marks a significant step forward in this major endeavour. Behind me are dozens of timber sleepers, all carefully laid out and ready to receive a crossover. It's going to be one of the biggest pieces of track work on the entire railway. And believe me, it will take quite a bit of putting together.
Well, this is our datum rail. This is our straightest rail that we've got in the point work. And so we take all our measurements off of this rail. So once this is keyed in, as you can see, we're in the process of keying this one up. We line it up with our fixed point, which is the track behind us, which is the head shunt. And then we marry everything off of this rail. So all our distances and widths are taken off this rail. Once this is fixed in, everything else then follows on through the point work.
And if it's not quite right, you've got quite a brutal approach to it, I'd say.
A very brutal approach, I'm afraid, you know, hammers, crowbars and sheer muscle. This is where the volunteers are coming in today. They're helping us, you know, put all this together. We are 2 weeks behind, which is unfortunate. We had a supply problem. We've also had a transport problem. So things have sort of slipped slightly, but you know, we'll get on. We're going to work this weekend. We'll have 2 gangs out of volunteers this weekend working, and hopefully we can catch up, you know, in a very, very short period of time.
Well, that sounds like the voice of confidence.
Well, we've got the bits, you know, it's all marked out. As you can see, there's markings. This is what prices have done for us. I call it the idiot's guide to point work. They number up every sleeper so it just follows along, and all the sleepers have marked up where all the components got to go. So it's basically it's an Airfix kit without a plan and any glue.
It comes as a kit of parts from the factory, all lettered and numbered so that the guys on site know where it's all got to go. And in fact, they went down to have a look at this assembly when it was still being built. So as they are now, when they're putting it all back together, they've already seen it, and it all makes perfect sense to them. It's a great help to them to know what a complicated structure like this is when it's got to be reassembled. There's a lot involved in track work, and it's not just the permanent way. There's all the associated electrical work. There's track circuits which all have to be accommodated with special insulated joints. So although they're not here today, and the signals and telegraph guys will be coming back as a gang. Once the permanent way moved off, they will come back and do all the track circuitry.
There's lots to do, and many hands make for slightly lighter work. Today, volunteers are playing a key role in moving things ahead.
Well, I've been part of a team actually. I've always actually, you know, worked part of a team, and you know, it's a great atmosphere. We have a laugh, and you know, working on the railway is one big sort of learning curve as well, because you know, you get to know different things all the time, especially working with the full-time staff. And yeah, it's great, enjoyable, and you know, you sort of like when you see it running in normal service, you think, yeah, I've been part of that. You know, we did when this is finished. I'll say, like, you know, those points there, I put those down, etc. You know, so that's the kick I get out of it anyway.
When you look at these points, they're over £40,000 a time. I think this part of the project has cost us over 150,000. So you know, money doesn't grow on trees, but as I've said before, no track, no trains.
Meanwhile, a stone's throw away is the loco yard itself, and Nick's already looking ahead to fixing this next year.
You can see the existing track. This is very old 1930s rails, reused a couple of 3 times before they ended up here. That's all got to be renewed, and it's going to be a big task to both get suitable second-hand materials which will suit this project, and also make sure that we've got enough funds to be able to fund new components, because we will need some new components. The ballast, which has got to be renewed. There isn't any ballast here, it's just ash. The rails are laid literally on top of the sand, which isn't good for them. That's one of the reasons why we've got problems with the sleepers rotting and the rails moving around. And we've also got to install some drainage in order to be able to take the water away and make sure that it all stays in good condition for a long time.
So all being well, possession of the track will be handed back to operations in mid-March, in good time for the SVR to switch back up to full line running on April the 1st. Now don't forget, we're still fundraising for phase 2 of this essential track upgrade project, so please, if you can, make a donation at svrtrust.org.uk.